Today, we're doing a Yahoo mock draft to get you guys ready for the upcoming fantasy season. Let's go and win some leagues. Nine cats, head-to-head, mock draft. We're in Yahoo. I'm joined by none other than Steve St-Pierre. How are you, my friend?
Doing fantastic, D-Mac. How you doing, man?
Doing really well. Can't wait to mock draft. I haven't done that many, to be honest, and it's the first show that I've done with a mock draft. You've put together quite the ensemble and quite the cast of fantasy experts.
Yeah, should be a fun
Take us
one.
through 'em.
Go ahead.
Yeah, take us through them. So
Yeah,
we've got the draft order. We're 4.5 minutes until we start the draft. I'm picking from the 10th slot. Steve, you are right before me in the 9th slot. But who are the other guys we've got in the room?
well, we've got the birthday boy. We'll start with him, Matty G. He's going to be picking from the 6th spot. Number 1, we've got Noah Rubin. We have both Adams. We've got Adam King and God,
You got Adam
blanking.
Stock in there as well.
Thank
do
you,
we?
Adam Stock. So we don't know which one is which is hilarious. We've got my former Menace Podman co-host and my co-host on Will Slam Beer, Scott Keller. We've got Eric Ong. We've got Matt Lawson. We've got Sloan Paiva. We've got Raphael Johnson. And last but not least, picking in the final spot, the 12th spot, we've got a good friend of mine, Bill Majewski. Excellent dude. He's been playing fantasy with me for years. We grew up together, went to school together. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Great
It's going to be
lineup.
awesome. Yeah, it's a really good lineup. And I know that a lot of people have done mocks in the past and a little bit of controversy. And people are looking for, I guess, some more expert analysis as well. And quite the cast that you've got here. So well done to you, Steve. I'm in 10th, so not well done for that. 10th. Look, to be honest, and I mentioned this with Kingy yesterday and Maddie earlier, 10th to 12th is actually not as bad as one would think. It's after, of course, the top 4, and maybe even top 5 if you include Giannis. The middle of the draft or middle of the first round is somewhat a no man's land. You've got, at the moment, based on ADP, you've got AD, Cade Cunningham, which I really love, and Edwards. I guess he's moved into that top tier or first rounder. It's still not for me, too rich for me, but perhaps this is the season. And then at the back end, you've got a plethora of guards, and I think that's probably what we'll be looking at, and that's what will be left on the board for us. You've got Carl Anthony Towns thrown into the mix as well in amongst those, but I'm sort of lower on Cat this season, just with some talk that he could move across to the 4, Mitch Robinson to the 5, plus reduced minutes with Mike Brown at the helm as head coach as well. But what are you thinking in the 9 slot? What do you think will drop, or are you just going to play it by ear?
I'm going to kind of play it by ear, and I do agree with you on Cat, but I was also recently in a mock draft where I took him in the first round, and it turned out to be a good thing because we've talked all about how the guards are going to go early and often, but a lot of the elite centers tend to go really early too. And so, yeah, a lot of the really good big men went early. And so, yeah, I was really happy that I took Towns. And yeah, it just all depends. But like you said, it's a total crapshoot. It's really all about preference and build. So it makes it a lot of fun. Should be a really fun season.
Yeah, and being in the 10th slot is actually quite fortuitous just because we have been talking about the plethora of guards. You talked about some elite centers at this spot as well, but I will be targeting guards at this point just because of the statistical scarcity and the categorical scarcity around assists this season. No Tyrese Halliburton, Dame Lillard, Kyrie Irving to start the season injured as well. So I'm looking for my guard stats at this point. So looking at the ADPs, and we do have some ADP data now with Yahoo. I know they opened up their drafts the other day. We are about to start, actually, so I better start preparing for the draft. We're just moments away, 50 seconds away. But I'm thinking Trae Young, unless you snipe me. But there's a couple of other guys that I've got my eye on at this point as well. Interesting discussion with Matty G during our last show, so make sure you go and check that out. But he doesn't rate Trae Young as highly as I do. He actually has him, I think he said number 24 on his big board with his projections. And that incorporates turnovers and poor field goal. Field goal, yeah, I think you can recover from that. And turnovers, as you know, I'm I'm pretty much punting that anyway. We've got 15 seconds
Yeah.
until we start. Looking forward to it. So, of course, first pick, we've got Noah Rubin. Where's he going to go?
I'm guessing he's probably going to take Joker, but we'll see.
All right, he's taking Joker, as we predicted there.
Yep.
Yeah, Shay went to one of the Adams.
One of them. We got Scott on the board now here at 3.
Yep. Scott on the board at 3. We got 30-second picks as well, so that's nice and quick. Get through nice and quickly.
Yep.
Okay. So Victor Wembanyama at 3, Luka Doncic at 4. So we're flying through at the moment. You're thinking Wembanyama at 5? We've got Eric Ong on the clock at the moment.
I'm trying to I can't even see where the picks are.
Yeah, I go draft results. Okay, Cunningham at 5 to Eric. So we've still got Giannis.
Oh, here we go.
Board.
Draft results. All right.
Yeah,
all right. Cool.
results.
I'm with you now. I'm with you. Yep. So
it's actually the first time I've drafted in Yahoo this season. So
yeah, same. So that's why I'm just not used to it yet. I'm so used to Fantrax.
Yeah, Giannis went at 6, and Edwards at 7 to Matt Lawson.
Yep.
Matty G took Giannis at 6. So we are coming up.
Okay.
Sloan took AD. I like that.
So I would have taken AD. So this is a tough call.
You were on the
Yeah, I could go Cat. I also like Tyrese Maxey. I like Steph Curry. I like James Harden. You mentioned Trae Young. I'm not going to take Trae Young. It's a tough call.
You got 8 seconds.
I think I'm going to go with Tyrese Maxey.
Maxey, I like it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to draft Trae Young, as I said. So draft results here. So Raf's taken Karl Anthony Towns at 11. So at 12, you've got your friend Bill. Where do you think he might go?
Good question. I think Steph is probably somebody that he would probably target. He could go with like Harden. He could go Booker.
He's going.
He
Booker.
could go Trae Young.
He's actually going Booker. There we go.
There you go. And then he's on the turn as well here. So back-to-back picks.
Yeah, Paolo Banchero, the first pick of the second round.
Wow.
Yeah, that's bold. That's bold.
I told him it's 9 Cat. So interesting. Now, we talked about how Banchero's ranked really high this year, at least right now, in Yahoo pre-rankings. So
I'm
looks
on
like
the
you're
clock
up again,
here.
my friend. Yeah, it's going quick.
Yeah, I'm going to go the double guard. I'm going James Harden.
Yeah, it's a good move. Sabonis went before you. I'm going to take Steph. I mean, to get him here, that's good value.
Absolutely. So, great value. 4th pick of the second round. So Sloan took AD in the first. How's he going to pair AD? So he's taken J-Dub. Jalen Williams went straight after him to Matt Lawson to pair with Ant
those two
Edwards.
Jalens are going to go together a lot, I feel like.
I think so. So. J-Dub seems to have the higher ADP at the moment, but I think Jalen Johnson will pretty much be on par with him. LeBron James has gone to Matty G, actually, to partner with Giannis. So he's gone a strong punt free throw build. KD went after him. I like that. That's nice value. Donovan Mitchell to Adam, and Scott is on the clock.
Yep.
So Wembanyama, he's paired with Jalen Brunson. Okay, interesting. What do you think of that Jalen Brunson pick? LaMelo actually went the 11th pick of the second round.
I think Jalen Brunson's fine. I mean, it comes down to just preference at this point. So,
and LaMelo in the second round, are you comfortable taking him in the second round?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm comfortable with it, but again, you got to get your point guards, and it is already starting to dry up a little bit. So, I don't hate it, but yeah, it's one of those things, man. You got to take some risks, especially when you're drafting with other people who really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
These guys
aren't
going to be around.
LaMelo has high upside. End of second round per game, I think, is fantastic and is fine.
Yep.
It's just the games played is of concern. Now, Noah, so he's got Nikola Jokic, Evan Mobley, and Chet Holmgren. So he's gone big to start off the
Yeah.
first 3 rounds. Cooper Flagg has gone as the second pick in the 3rd round. I think we'll see more and more of that. His ADP isn't quite reflective of that. It's more towards the back end
One
of
of the
3rd
Adams.
round.
I feel like that has to be Kingy. I feel like that's
Cooper Flagg fan.
a Kingy kind of pick there. I could be wrong. It could be Adam Stock, but Jamal
We'll
Murray,
work out
solid
which Adam
pick for
too.
Scott.
Yep, Scott, Jamal Murray, I like that one.
Amen
Amen Thompson. Yeah, high upside guy. Not sure how he's going to go with
Thompson though
KD
too,
there.
so I don't know.
Yeah,
I love how we don't
potentially.
know.
We're going to work it out.
Yeah, it's all
De'Aaron
good.
Fox went to Eric Ong. I like that in the 3rd round. Zion Williamson. So Matty G's really gone for that full free throw.
He's punting
punt.
a couple things at this point, probably.
Yeah. And
But,
Zion, look, he could have waited to the 4th round, perhaps, and we'll get him on later on to discuss it. But maybe he's just gone, look, I'm just going to load up on these guys. We know what we're going to get. It's just a matter of health with Zion. Scotty Barnes went to Matt Lawson. I like that pick.
See, this is where like a lot of the big guys are gone now. So
yeah, you're on the clock, my friend.
Yeah,
and you've gone Jaren Jackson Jr. Yeah, okay. Pascal Siakam, Ivica Zubac. All right, I've gone 2 guards. I'm going to go. I'm tempted to go Kawhi Leonard, but
I almost did too. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to. You know what? I'm going to go Josh Giddey.
Got to represent.
Got to represent the Aussie. And I think he's in for a good season this season.
Yeah. Still unsigned. It still baffles me. I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to, even being a restricted free agent, I thought he was going to be one of the first guys signed.
Yeah, I'm confident that he re-signs with the Bulls.
Yeah, for sure. We all are. It's only a matter of time. But it's just the Bulls haven't done much else. I would have thought they would have been all over trying to get a deal done with him quickly, so that they can focus on like any other holes in their lineup on their roster or what have you. So yeah, it's been interesting, but
it has been. I am on the clock again. Dyson Daniels, the other Aussie.
Yeah,
look,
he was up there too.
I'm thinking Tyler Hero, or I'm thinking Kawhi Leonard, because I don't think Kawhi Leonard gets back to me. Look, I'm going to go Kawhi. I know it's probably a little early.
No, I think that's a great pick. I would have been tempted. I almost took him with my last pick.
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and take my boy, Miles Turner. Double up. Now I've got 2 bigs, 2 guards. I like that start.
Nice for your blocks. I really like that.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown went to Sloan. Jaylen Brown's going to have a really nice season. A lot of usage this season. I guess the only concern is the games played. But apart from that, I think he's going to have a really nice season.
Yeah,
Franz Wagner is a good pick to Matt Lawson there in the middle.
You mentioned Hero. I like Hero here too. Whoever takes him, that'll be a good
I'm surprised Matty G didn't take Hero, but I guess he's really leaning into that punt free throw build.
Yeah, he sure is.
So Jakob Poeltl. Okay, we'll get him to discuss that one. Look, yes, Jakob Poeltl, I believe he's going to have a nice season.
Again, free throw thing.
It's a free throw thing, but could he have waited?
Yes.
He could have waited.
For sure.
But Trey Murphy went to Eric Ong, the 8th pick of the 4th round. I like Trey
He was another
Murphy.
guy I was looking at. Yep.
Same. Desmond Bain, I really like that one, to Adam, 9th pick of the 4th round. Then to round out the 4th round, Ivica Zubac, Ja Morant, and then Noah has the final pick of the 4th round. And if you didn't notice, we didn't have 3rd round reversal. We were talking about this.
Yeah, we talked about it. I was actually originally going to do it, and then I sort of forgot. But actually, it's fine because we were talking off air. You know, we can just do a regular one here, and then if I do another one, if I host another one, I'll do 3rd round reversal for that one.
Yeah. Noah took Lauri Markkanen. I think from what I recall, he took Lauri Markkanen in a mock draft last week.
He did.
Run by Josh Lloyd.
Yep.
So he seems to be really consistent with that. He's big on Lauri Markkanen for this season.
That was the same draft that I took Cat with my 1st round pick. So
yep. So Noah's consistent at least. Then he's taken Brandon Miller. I like that. Kristaps Porzingis, we know how good he is per game. So that's gone to Adam. Do you see much of a role change for Porzingis at Atlanta, or is it pretty much going to be the same old, really consistent play from him?
I've spoken about this. I actually think that Porzingis is going to come off the bench. You and I talked about this,
Yes,
and
we did.
yeah,
And
I
there's
think
Hero just went off the board. Yeah, carry on, my friend.
I was just going to say, I think they're going to use him the way that Al Horford's been used the past few seasons with Boston. I think they bring him off the bench. I think they kind of load manage him a little bit, but we'll see. I mean, you said that you thought that they're going to go big, play some Jalen Johnson at the 3, which is definitely a possibility. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what direction they go in. And I'm up.
You're up. You're up.
All
You've
right.
got 14
Jimmy
seconds.
Butler. Jimmy Butler was a guy I was looking at. But I'm going to go ahead and take Darius Garland here. I will stash him.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I really like that pick. I
Yeah,
was
just
looking at him as well.
get another guard. These guards are drying up. John Morant was another guy I was looking at,
Yeah.
and he went. So
There's a few nice picks here. I
Denny
need a big
Avdia.
man. Denny
Matt
Avdia.
Lawson.
Yeah, I'm big on him.
Was looking at him. Obviously,
I might go
Hero.
Gobert. I'm going to go Gobert. I
Yeah.
need some picks here from the center slot. So straight after, we had two picks before. We had Jarrett Allen, so I would have liked to have grabbed Allen. You picked Garland. I took Gobert. Michael Porter Jr. went to Raf straight after Gobert, and we're rounding out the 5th round with your friend Bill. So he's gone Booker, Paolo Banchero, Şengün, Siakam, and then he's gone Kobe White to end the 5th round. Started the 6th, so we're really flying. This is a really nice draft. It's fantastic.
Yep. Everybody's doing a good job.
Any surprising picks so far? I saw that Tyler Hero went to Eric, so 5th pick of the 5th round. I like that. I think
I think
got a big season ahead.
Yeah, I just think Tyler Hero sliding that far is a little bit of a surprise, and that's really good value. But other than that, Banchero one kind of stands out to me as the biggest surprise. But again, it's just kind of a preference thing. I mean, for 9-cat, it's pretty gutsy, especially that early. But I mean, if you like them and if you've got a certain build that you're, kind of pursuing, then it can make sense. So.
Yeah, I'm doubling up on big man. I've gone Ayton. I know, again, probably a little bit early, but I think he'll have a decent season. And so that's probably around his ADP that I've taken him, possibly a little bit too soon. But I needed some big men. I've gone 3 guards to start the draft. Just to reiterate, I've gone Trae Young, James Harden, Josh Giddey. Got my wing with Kawhi Leonard, and then 2 guards and Gobert and Ayton. Now, you've just taken Cam Johnson. I really like that.
He's a guy that I've been getting in a lot of mocks and around this spot. I think it's a good spot for him. Vucevic is still on the board. He's a guy that I really like around here. I mean, at 67, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, I was considering Vucevic, but I do have some concerns, and we've heard this for the last several seasons at the Bulls.
For sure.
Are they going to deprioritize
trade rumors? He's another year older. He's not the best in terms of like shot blocking and stuff like that, the traditional big man center stats, but I mean, he's awesome. He's fantastic for 9-cat. He's been surprisingly durable. And I mean, at this point of the draft, we're in the 70s now. You can't go wrong. So,
yeah, this is where the values are really condensed, I guess. It does depend on your team build. So when people go, oh, that was too early, or wow, what great value, it all evens up from probably around the 4th to the 8th round. They're quite similar in value. So I always like to pick to my team build.
for
Now,
sure.
we've had some nice picks in here. Manuel Quickly, middle of the 6th round. I think that's got some nice upside. Mark Williams gone to Matty G as well. So again, punting those free throws. He's big on the big man stats. So he's gone Giannis, LeBron,
One of the Adams took
Zion,
Fred Van
Jakob
Vliet.
Poeltl.
I like that pick. I was looking at him.
Fred
Andrew
VanVleet,
Nembhard to
yes.
Noah at 73. That is
It seems early.
bit
but without
aggressive, but
Halliburton,
I like it. I understand it. Obviously, huge vacancy there with the Pacers, so guys are going to have to step up. And Nembhard specifically moving over to that point guard position full time.
absolutely.
So-
Nembhard, I think Benedict Mathurin takes a bit of a step up this season. TJ McConnell will probably come off the bench behind Nembhard. I don't think they'll play alongside of each other, but Nembhard, that's one to keep an eye out for. I've got him in a 30 deep dynasty league, so I'm really happy
Yeah,
that he's got
that's
that
good for
nice
you.
upside coming into this season. Cam Thomas. So this is another thing to keep an eye on. Getting points seems to be a little bit easier later in drafts compared to previous seasons. I like that Peyton Pritchard
Yeah,
as well.
that's one that I was looking at. So real
Yeah.
good pick.
And Josh Hart, third pick of the 7th round, obviously had a huge season last season. There's been
Yep.
discussion. So Scott's taken this one.
Yeah,
I
Scott
think
likes
still
Josh
solid
Hardy, kind
value.
of always has, and he does have a lot of position eligibility on Yahoo: shooting guard, small forward, and power forward. So
Yep. John Collins, new team at the Clippers. John Collins in the 7th round. I think it's solid. There's a little bit more, I guess, definitive role
there
for
goes
him.
Vooch.
Vooch has, look,
Finally,
I was
it's Matt
probably going to
Lawson at
grab him.
79. I was going to take him. I wasn't leaving him on the board if he fell to me at
You went,
81. So
yeah. Okay, now we've got Sloan on the clock. He took Jalen Duren in the last round. He's gone double big the last 2 rounds, Jared Allen and Jalen Duren. Then he's gone some points with DeMar DeRozan. Don't mind that at all. Now you are on the clock.
I am, and I don't know what to do here. How many bigs do I have? I've got JJJ and Turner. Let's go ahead and grab Okongwu here at this point.
Okongwu, yep, decent. Could play as a starter or alongside. Alex Sarr, look, tempting. There's a few guys here. Brandon Ingram, possibly. Don't really know how that's all going to play out. Hartenstein, I could go. Look, I'm going to take a risk.
I almost did it.
Yep.
Paul
Paul
George. Yep, I almost did it. I was like, maybe
Yeah.
he'll come back to me.
And it does depend on your team. And I've sort of gone risky with Kawhi Leonard, but he's coming into preseason healthy for the first time in a long time.
Mhm.
So Paul George, yeah, look, it is a bit of a risk, but I think that the upside is there. Straight
No
after
question.
Paul George, we've gone Mikal Bridges, and now we have Bill on the clock. I need to start thinking about my next pick as well. That's the thing with 30-second shot clocks. You got to really think ahead. It's a bit
Yeah,
like
for
chess,
sure.
think ahead. Take us through your Okongwu pick as well.
Yeah, like I said, just getting another big man, kind of helps lean into my blocks that I've got going on with JJJ and Miles Turner. So I think he fits in nicely. Like we said, I do think that Okongwu is going to continue to start for Atlanta. I still think he's going to be a priority for them. So at the spot where I got him, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep. Look, I'm eyeing off Ingram as my next pick. Wiggins, Vassell, Benedict Mathurin, I think is a bit early. I like Kello Ware, but I think I can possibly get him in the next round. Hartenstein is another guy I could target. Now I'm on the clock. Shall I do it? Let's go Ingram.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go Hartenstein. He's a guy that I was looking at and am still kind of wondering if I should. Not a lot of bigs left on the board here. Could grab one more and kind of wrap it up there. I think I am going to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, nice.
OKC's schedule kind of concerns me in head-to-head leagues because for the spot where most head-to-head leagues are probably going to wrap up here in fantasy playoffs, they go 3-3-3 in terms of games played per week. So that's a little concerning, but I mean, as my fourth center, I'll take him and figure it out later. You know what I mean?
Yep. Sloan's taken Benedict Mathurin, obviously, for that upside with...
I was looking at Mathurin. I actually don't...
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of early, but I mean, at this stage, this is probably where he's going to go.
Yeah. We're probably
Same with Donovan Clingan.
Clingan I was looking at as well. We're probably
Yep.
a couple of rounds away from taking some flyer picks as well. So the reason why I didn't take Hartenstein is because I've got a couple of big man flyer picks that I would like to explore if they are still available.
I actually do too, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see, and we'll discuss that as we approach it. Jalen Suggs, I like that too. Matty G. So again, I think that consolidates some of the stats that he's looking for. Jalen Suggs is now not necessarily a punt free throw guy. Decent free throws last season, but he does get those steals, decent assists. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit more usage to share in Orlando now this
Mm-hmm.
season. Asar Thompson, I like that as a nice upside pick. I think Asar Thompson starts. He will need some shooting around him, but I like that. And if he's got the upside and similar athletic prowess to his brother, that's a good pick for me.
Did that Adam
Alex
take both Thompson twins?
Yeah, he did. He did. There you go. Just had to get
Nice.
both Thompsons.
Yeah, I like
Alex
that.
at the close to the end of the 8th round. That's gone to Scott. So I like that. Good Perth Wildcats guy. So I'm here in Perth. So I saw a little bit of
There you
Alex
go.
and he had a decent rookie season as well with some more improvement. There we go. Another young gun, Scoot Henderson, going to Adam. And we're about to round out the 8th round with a pick to Noah. He's gone Anthony Simons. Yeah, I think that's some nice value. Whether or not he remains on the Celtics remains to be seen.
Yeah.
D'Lo is going to start the season nicely while Kyrie
Yes.
Irving is out for the Mavs.
Yep.
How that looks towards the back end of the season, we'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Any other surprising picks along the way here, Steve?
Not too many. You know, I think this is we've pretty much reached no man's land here. This is where you go and just get your guys, you know.
Yep.
It's flyer territory. So no, everyone's doing a great job. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look through the list as well. Julius Randle there for a bit of a boost to my points is someone I would consider.
Yeah, especially at this point.
Yeah, we've got some strange names here. And if you have seen some of my posts and my previous shows, we talked about how Yahoo brought out some crazy ranks. So Jason Wallace had an original preseason rank of 24. But yeah, it depended on which list you look at. But 24 was crazy. And that's been reflected in the ADP, I guess, some auto drafting as well. He's sort of boosted it up. So just ignore that. You've also need to ignore the guys that will be injured for the season. Jason Tatum with an ADP of 72 is not going to reflect where he needs to be taken, which is not at all. Same goes for Tyrese Halliburton and Damian Lillard. So you can all see those guys. Keaton Wallace as a backup point guard in Atlanta should not be there either.
Brandon Podziemski here at 100. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Dan Besperson and I talked about that this past week on my show. I'm still kind of up in the air with Pods, but Dan and I both agree that he should be in their starting lineup for Golden State. He should be a priority for them moving forward. It's going to come down to Steve Kerr. So if he stays consistent with him in the lineup, I like him a lot, and especially at this stage of the draft. So
absolutely.
Now I'm up.
You're up.
I am going to go ahead and homer out here and take Tobias Harris.
Tobias, I like that one. I need another big man, so I'm going to take Nick Claxton. Yeah, pretty disappointing season last year, but I think he'll have a bounce back.
Yeah, I think this is great value for Nick Claxton. He should have a bounce back, at least somewhat. And even if he doesn't, I mean, for where you're drafting him here, just take whatever.
End of the 9th round. Yeah, past pick 100, I think I'm very comfortable doing that. And this is the thing. You go and grab your guys, like you said, Steve, who are past the 100 mark. There's real low risk at this point. And if you guys are anything like me, I tend to cycle through and stream the last 2 slots anyway. Not initially, but towards the back end of the season, I stream quite heavy. So this is where you do take some of those flyer picks from the 10th round onwards. But I'm happy with Nick Claxton in the 9th. Okay, Bobby Portis to round out the 9th round. Decent. I still think he comes off the bench for the Milwaukee Bucks.
For sure.
Still decent value. Jaden Ivey, I expect him to start alongside of Cade. We haven't seen the best of him, but we have seen flashes.
Ivy's a homer pick for Bill as well. He's here with me in the Michigan area and in the Detroit area. And he's a big fan of Ivy. We all are. We're very optimistic that he's going to bounce back here, be healthy, and hopefully continue to develop his personal game and his fantasy game.
Yep. Yeah, I'm deciding between Vassell, Beal, or Edie. Beal, I don't know if I can. Yeah, I've got Paul George, but I do like his role. I'm going to take Beal.
Yeah, Beal's a guy I was looking at. I think this is around the time when you can take him. And again, just whatever you get, you take it. This one's a gutsy move, but I'm going to go ahead and stash Kyrie Irving. This is a
Yeah, there we go.
situation where it depends on what kind of league you play in. And for
Yep.
me, I tend to play in leagues that have more IL spots than less. So I like stashing guys, even if
Mhm.
it's a huge risk. I mean, at this stage of the draft, I don't mind taking that risk. But again, if you're in a league where you do have limited amounts of IL spots and just moves in general, then I wouldn't be this aggressive on it. But
Yeah, and also know your league mates, because I'm almost certain that Matty G would have done the same. He would have stashed Kyrie Irving because he's done that in a couple of mocks. So know your league mates, see what they've done in the past. It does help that Matty G's made it publicly known that he would like to stash Kyrie Irving. So it'll be good to see what he thought of that pick by yourself as
happy
well.
birthday,
And he will
Maddie.
join us later on. Yeah, happy birthday to Matty G for taking your pick. But he's taken Keontae George. He's trying to boost up the assists there. I did like CJ McCollum in the previous round for him. So he would have been my pick had he had been there at the time. Herb Jones, 8th pick of the 10th round. I like that one. I think he comes back this season free of injury. It should be a good season for him. Dante DiVincenzo, do you think that he'll start ahead or start for the Minnesota Timberwolves? And will it be ahead of Mike Conley?
I don't think he'll start initially, but I do think there's a chance that he could wind up in the starting lineup, either because they just flip flop him or like if Conley gets hurt again. I mean, he's another year older. He's had injury issues in the past. He's been relatively durable with Minnesota, but yeah, it's a total crapshoot there.
Yep. Zachary Ricochet was taken by Scott. Probably a little bit too early for me, but unless we hear that he may actually start, he could start for the Atlanta Hawks. And if that's the case, perhaps we're willing to give him a crack there. Devin Vassell,
I
I
like
like
that
that
pick here,
close.
actually. I was actually looking at Ricochet too.
Yeah, I like those following two. I think Devin Vassell there is nice, and Lively is another guy that I was targeting. So thanks to Noah for taking Lively. He's gone Bilal Coulibaly to follow that up. Kevin Porter Jr. has gone the second pick of the 11th round. Do you think he starts for the Bucks, or will it be someone like Cole Anthony?
I think Cole Anthony, and you and I talked about this on my show as well. I actually
Yeah.
think Cole Anthony's going to start. It is possible that KPJ gets the nod. And obviously, he's played well in the past. I didn't think he looked that great last year with Milwaukee. So I'm not as high on him as other analysts are, but I fully acknowledge that it is very possible that he gets the starting spot and winds up having a nice bounce back year. And at this stage of the draft, it doesn't hurt to take him and find out.
Correct. In that case, we might need to look for Cole Anthony as my last round pick. We got a
Yeah,
few
we're
more to
wrapping this
go.
thing up. We just
Yeah,
got
we
2 more
are.
rounds, right?
Two more rounds after this one. So we're in the
Yeah.
11th of 13. You're not far off the clock. Sloan's got the pick. Before that, Santiago Dama was taken. PJ
Oh,
Washington, you're on
Scott
the clock
sniped me on
now.
my boy Ace Bailey. This is going to be the first mock where I haven't taken him. That's funny. All right. Well, I better not mess around and grab my other guy. This is my other kind of sleeper / flyer pick, Igor Demine of
Oh, starting point guard for the
the
Nets.
Brooklyn
Yep, I
Nets.
like that one.
I fully acknowledge that taking rookie guards is a ginormous gamble, but
Look, the guy that I took is not someone I generally take, but in the 11th round, I have gone for a bit of a points boost, RJ Barrett.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, I'm okay
is
with
what
it
it
at
is.
the 11th round.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a points boost, and you can easily cut him if you ever need to. Like you said,
Exactly
stream
right.
that spot. So
Yeah, straight after Klay Thompson and Kyle Filipkowski. I don't think Filipkowski starts, but towards the back end of the season, depending on how Utah go, I think just like it was at the end of last season, won quite a few people some of their leagues. He's going to have a monster end to the season, but we'll see how that shapes up.
one of the
Another Jazz
Adams,
guy.
one of the Adams took Isaiah Jackson, and he's a
I
guy
love that.
that I was gonna. I was thinking about taking him, and I'm very high on him. I actually think he's gonna, assuming he's healthy and good to go from the start of training camp. I think he's going to be starting in the middle and could have a humongous season for them.
Yep. Now, because someone has taken Isaiah Jackson, I'm pretty sure that someone will take Jay Huff. Just
Yeah.
because he could start. So I'm going to take Huff there as a bit of a flyer. I
Yeah.
was
It's a good pick.
looking to
Makes
grab
sense.
Andrew Wiggins or Malik Monk. So if they're still available next round, I'll grab those to round out the draft.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like Jay Huff here.
Wiggins is a guy I'm looking at. This is a tough one. I'm gonna actually. This one's kind of boring. I'm gonna go Chris Middleton. I'm just gonna hope that at this point he's got something left in the tank, whether he stays with Washington or goes somewhere else. Just hoping he stays relatively healthy.
Yeah, and I
Easy
guess
cut if he doesn't.
Easy cut in the 12th round. He's got a lot of young guys around him, and depending on your IL or IR situation, you can just put him in there, get him in for when he does play, and then slot him straight back in. It does depend on the rest of your team as well. But again, 12th round, no risk. We've got Cason Wallace, who was 24th ranked Yahoo guy, but he's gone in the 12th round to Sloan. Dylan Harper to Matt Lawson. So, yeah, rookie there. Andrew Wiggins taken off the board by Matty G. So, happy birthday, mate. Keon Ellis, I like that from Eric Ong. Not sure if he starts. And again, Malik Monk, don't know if he starts or whether that could be Dennis Schroeder starting in the point guard. But I think the Kings are a better team with. I think it's Schroeder. I think the Kings are a better team with Keon Ellis on.
I agree.
Well.
I think Schroeder will start, but I think Ellis probably should start.
Yeah, and then what does that mean for Malik Monk? Malik Monk looked good in patches last season as well. So I may even follow up with Malik Monk in the last round, but we'll see how that all plays out. Bub Carrington, taken by Scott. Don't mind that. No Jordan Poole there this season. So he'll be running the roost in the backcourt there. Cam Whitmore, there's a nice up pick.
The guy you like, we talked about him.
Yeah. I think there's some merit in grabbing him here because, again, if he doesn't start or if he does come off as a sixth man and he's just, a huge amount of usage, he could be that nice points booster. Doesn't do a lot else apart from points, but I think it's a decent pick at this point. Trey Johnson, rookie there for the Washington Wizards as Noah's last pick there. He's got quite a nice pick of young guys. Obviously, Noah has a strong dynasty background, so he's got some insights on some of these rookies, obviously.
He does. Yep. This is total flyer, territory.
It is total flyer. What are you thinking going into your last pick?
So, one other big guy that I really like is Chris Boucher. I just think these Boston guys are going to have opportunities. So he's somebody that I'm looking at here if he falls to me. If not, Aaron Nesmith, he's kind of boring, but should have a big role on that Indiana team. So he's a guy that I'm looking at too. You and I talked about Ryan Kalkbrenner on Charlotte.
We did.
Dark horse chance to start for them at center. So that would be a decent play.
Or is it Diabate starts, or who starts for the Hornets?
We don't know. We have no idea. So, and obviously we're doing this before training camp, before preseason. So we're kind of going into it blind, but.
Yep. There's some big names still left on the board.
Ty Jerome, I like that pick.
Yeah, there's some huge
names. Reed Shepherd. Scott took Reed Shepherd. We know the deal with him. He's kind of buried right now in the depth chart, but if they give him minutes, he's definitely going to produce. We know the talent's there for sure.
Yeah. I've put a star next to Jonathan Kuminga. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with him, but in the last round, I don't mind him there. Daniel Gafford is another guy. I think I probably need to go away from bigs.
There goes Gafford right there to Matt Lawson.
There's Gafford there.
Good pick.
Colin Sexton in the Hornets. I think he could have some nice value as well. Con Kneppel probably starts. Exciting rookie. So now it's my pick. I'm going to go. Look, I've taken your advice with Kyrie, and I'm taking DeJounte. I'm going to slot him into my IL.
I almost did it.
Yeah, did
but
you?
I was like, I've done it enough. I've stashed Garland and Kyrie. So let's get that big man and wrap it up. So it's a good draft.
Good draft. Didn't go for very long, which is great, and great for you guys as well watching. But Anything that really surprises you, apart from that Paolo Banchero pick in, what was it, the second round, first pick of the second round?
Yeah,
By
that was
your
the one
mate
that kind
Phil?
of stood out to me the most. The rest of this, a lot of it was just kind of, preference. Um, as you said, a couple of these guys were going for specific builds. You can tell. If we can get Maddie on to kind of explain his picks, but we can kind of already tell what he's doing there, like you mentioned with the free throw build, the free throw punt build.
Yeah,
But no,
he's
otherwise,
doing well.
I think what stands out to me is the fact that everyone did such a nice job of navigating around those weird rankings that we talked about with Yahoo. So
Yeah, there's still a little bit of weirdness around it, and there's some still big names left on the board as well. I was looking at Jared McCain as well,
I was going to ask
potentially.
you some of the names that you've got left still on
Yeah,
your list.
Jared McCain, just because I did have that Paul George pick and McCain can come in, he'll come into the season now injury free. You've obviously got Embiid as that injury risk as well. So McCain is sort of that flyer type of guy. Who else do we have here?
Cole Anthony, we talked about him.
Cole Anthony, yeah,
Still
still
out
left
there.
there. Kyle Kuzma, high profile, but again, he does hurt you in fantasy.
Yeah.
Bucks don't have a huge amount of talent on the roster, so he probably could have been another guy that we looked at. Brook Lopez went undrafted, so he was just. I know he's probably going to come off the bench behind Ivica Zubac this season, but as that blocks boost, I think
I'm going to
Obi
mention,
Toppin. Yeah, Obi Toppin. I think just a bit of an uptick. I don't think he starts, but I think he has an uptick coming off the
yeah, I know
bench. You're
Maddie
going to
really
mention
likes
something.
him. Yep. I'm
Yeah.
going to mention a guy that Eric Ong and I talked about on my show this week, Adam Bona.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a popular name for a number of reasons. But
Yeah.
just a good kind of handcuff for Joel Embiid. Or just if you don't have Embiid on your team, but you don't trust him, you can take Bona late and then just, capitalize if and when Embiid goes down with any injuries. And then
Absolutely. We saw how well Boner did do at the end of last season. Boner alert. It was, similar to Kyle Filipowski. He
yeah.
did help a lot of teams win their championships last season. So, yeah, even if you had him last season, you go, you know what? He really did well. Just paying homage to him. Go and grab him.
And
Okay.
another guy that Matt Lawson and I discussed is Derek Queen. He's injured right now. He's definitely a stash, but he's somebody that we both think that like later on in the season could have a ton of value, especially if anything happens to Zion, or if they just continue to lose and struggle, and then they kind of go with more of a youth movement the second half of the year. So he's a guy that I like taking late. Again, if you have that ability to stash players.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good pick. I'm going to go through your team. Do we have it in order of picks? No, we don't. It's on your roster. We'll go through the other screen. It just looks a little bit easier. Steve, take us through your first few picks. So Tyrese Maxey, Steph Curry, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, so like I said, definitely want to prioritize getting those guards early and often. Maxey and Steph are both two of my favorites. They're great for 9-cat. They were both top 10 last season. I expect that to continue, assuming that they're healthy. And then, like I said, with JJJ, it was starting to get some of those big men. And JJJ is a personal favorite of mine. I love the fact that he shoots threes and blocks shots. That's a combo that I tend to target aggressively. And great fit. I love all three of those picks.
And you back that up nicely with Miles Turner to get those blocks, really solidified that.
One of
So
my
very
guys.
competitive.
Yep. I
Yeah,
usually
one of your
take
guys.
him. Yep. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and then Darius Garland going to start the season injured, but again, in the fifth round, end of the fifth round, close to the end of the fifth round, I think that's a really solid pick there.
Yeah, and he doesn't sound like he's going to be out for too long. So I'm hoping it's just a kind of a shorter stash. And we know how good he is and how good he can be once he's healthy. So again, you got to get guards early and often because they fly off the board. I mean, there weren't really many left at the point that I took him. So
yeah, you saw guards go off the board really early in the draft, and then it was sort of the run on the centers, and that's becoming a bit of a theme at the moment. Centers go sort of in those mid rounds, the 4 to 8, really heavy on centers. So you've done well to get Miles Turner early, and then Darius Garland, you've followed that up nicely there with a nice solid point guard. Cam Johnson, I do like his the look for him in Denver. I think it's a little bit more solid in terms of his overall value. I know per game last season at the Nets, he was fantastic, but it was always that risk of shutdown and the rest days and whatnot. But in Denver, I think they're going to be pushing for a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to get a lot of wide open looks off of Joker double teams and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's a great fit. I think it's a great role, and I thought that was excellent value there.
Yep, double bigs as well on Okongwu and Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein probably won't have the value that he had last season, obviously with Chet Holmgren, who was slowly ramped up. But I think getting Isaiah Hartenstein, he could still start. He could potentially still start. Getting him in the 8th round, I think is good value there.
Yeah, and as my 4th and pretty much final center, I took Boucher late, but yeah, just, didn't hurt. I thought just to grab one more, and, that late, if it doesn't work out, I'm not losing a whole lot,
Yep. And the next 3, Harris, Irving, and Dimin.
Yeah. Harris, older, boring guy, but like I said, homer pick for me. Still a starter here in Detroit. Still very good in 9-cat, still relatively durable. So, until the wheels fall off, let's keep taking them. Keep taking them around the spot where I got him.
Will he have more to do without Malik Beasley? I know you guys have Duncan Robinson there as your floor spreader and 3-point shooter, but will he have more to do this season?
It's possible. And, guys got to stay healthy too. Now there was the news that came out that Beasley's been cleared of everything that he was being kind of not charged for, but yeah, exactly.
Still a free agent
against. So yeah, it's possible that the Pistons could turn around and re-sign him still.
Right.
There's a lot of rumors that the Knicks are interested in him as well. So we'll have to see. But yeah, in any case, I just thought for where I got him, that was excellent value for Tobias Harris. He's been really good in 9-cat. I needed depth at the forward spot, so I was happy with it.
Yep. Kyrie Irving next.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving. I'm realizing just now that I didn't take a shooting guard. Nobody on my team has shooting guard eligibility on Yahoo. That's kind of nuts. But
I guess there's still time for them to change that
I
stashed
a couple guys that are injured, so I'll throw them on IL, and I'll, in this hypothetical league of ours, and I'll add some shooting guards. It's fine.
There you go. Perfect. you knew all along, didn't you, Steve?
That's crazy. Yeah, but no, I was very happy with getting those guys late. Demin's a guy that I like taking late in drafts is just kind of a flyer, like we said. That's around the time you want to start targeting these rookies, these young guys with a lot of potential.
And he's starting. He's
starting, which can be good and bad. Obviously, young guards, especially point guards, tend to take a lot of time to develop. But we know with Brooklyn, they don't really have a lot of other alternatives. They've got all the reason in the world to put him out there and give him the keys to that offense and just let him kind of run the show.
Do you think there'll be a bit of a minute split between him and the other rookie, Nolan Traore, as well? So Traore a couple of seasons ago was touted to be a top 10 pick, and he really dropped off. A bit of a disappointing season coming into the draft, but Demin has definitely taken the mantle as the starting point guard there.
Yeah, and with Cam Thomas still being a free agent, we don't know if he's going to be back there or not. If he's not there, that's just more usage for the rest of the guys in that team.
Right. Another old guy, Chris Middleton, in the 12th round.
Yeah, super old, super boring. Just kind of, like I said, this is kind of a put up or shut up time for him. Late in his career, just trying to squeeze out any value that I can. Once upon a time, he was like a top 50-ish guy. I'm not expecting anything close to that, but like I said, just whatever I can get from him, I'll take it. And, if we were playing this league out, he'd be a guy that I'd cut in an instant if there was somebody on the wire that I wanted more. So.
Absolutely. And Chris Boucher, as you mentioned, just to round it out with a big guy, there's a chance he starts in Boston. Probably not. Probably goes to Quator. But Boucher,
I don't know. I think it's 50-50. I think they could go in a number of directions in Boston. But I think either way, even if he doesn't start, he could have a similar role to what he had in Toronto when he was putting up his best numbers. And that was, he was still coming off the bench for them at the time. But we know his skill set. He's another one of those guys that can shoot threes and block shots. So he fits in nicely with the other guys that I have. And again, if it doesn't work out, I've lost nothing in the process. I just cut him and I move on. So
yeah, we'll quickly just go through mine.
Yeah.
Matty was going to join us, but it is his birthday, so we'll give him the
He's a
pass.
busy guy.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He's got
Keep
heaps going on
celebrating.
today.
He had a good
Yeah,
draft, so he's got plenty
he
of
did, and we'll
reasons
quickly
to
go through
celebrate.
his. Quickly going through mine. Trey Young, it's 10th. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I could have taken
Absolutely.
Towns there, but I think I really wanted to go double guard, so I've gone Young and Harden to start off with. Then actually went triple guard. Josh Giddey in the third round, end of the third round. Could have been
It turned
seen
out
to
to
be
be
a
a
little
good
bit
move
too
because a
early.
lot of centers did wind up sliding in this draft. Like I said, in Josh's draft, it felt like a lot of them were going earlier. So I don't know. It could be a Yahoo thing. It could have been just the group of guys that we had in this draft. Who knows?
Yeah, look, like we said, there's a bit of a run of centers in the middle of the draft as this draft is about to complete. We knew this, so a better view. There we go. My third round was Josh Giddey. Fourth round, I went Kawhi Leonard. So start 39th overall, Kawhi Leonard maybe seemed to be a little bit high, but if he's got potential first or second round per game value coming into the season relatively healthy, I'm all right with that. Then I followed it up with double big Rudy Gobert as my 58th overall pick in round 5, and then DeAndre Ayton at 63. I think people will get around that. Not really sure if he's going to be much better at the Lakers compared to when he was at the Suns and then at the Trailblazers, but I just needed a solid starting center there. So I think he'll be fine. Getting those lobs from Luka and LeBron's definitely going to help as well. Paul George, older guy, but end of the 7th round. So pick 82. I think that's value, even though he probably will not play the majority of the season. I'd like to think that he plays 60 games, but we'll wait and see. Followed by another wing that has had a few injury concerns, Brandon Ingram, 87th overall. We'll see how he fits alongside those other guys in Toronto. But
I
again,
like
we
how
haven't
Paul
seen him in
George.
that.
Sorry to cut you off. I like
Yeah,
how
go
Paul
on.
George and Brandon Ingram both have a ton of position eligibility in Yahoo.
Yeah, it does help. But I think in hindsight, I probably would have only taken one of those two. But I just saw the per game value and going, well, it would be nice to see how Ingram does synergize with the rest of the team. Is it going to be a nice fit, or will that just messiness in the wings
Yeah, I'm not as
mean that
high
his
on
fantasy
him.
value goes down?
Yeah, he's probably the one that I wouldn't have taken. I almost took Paul George. So when you took him, I thought that was an excellent choice. Again,
Yeah.
we know the risks there, but we also know the potential reward if he's healthy and gets back to doing what we know he can do. So
Yeah. Just looking through my team, I've probably gone a little bit risky in hindsight, but I've gone Nick Claxton. I think that's okay. Bradley Beal, older guy. He's not coming into the season injured, but an older guy, new team. 111th. I think he smashes that per game.
yeah, exactly. There's risk in every player. I think for where you got these guys, you can't really go wrong. And if it doesn't work out, you're not like guaranteed to miss out on very much. It's all a crapshoot at this point. So
I think so. RJ Barrett, I needed a boost in points. Generally, he's not a guy that I ever draft. And I don't know if I've ever had him in any of my teams ever before until today.
yeah,
This is a
I'm not a
mock,
huge
and
fan of him either.
that's the point of mocks. Just see how it all plays out.
Yeah,
And if you know where you're picking in terms
he's a
of your
handcuff
pick,
for Ingram.
there you go. There
So
you go. I
there you
didn't
go.
even think of that, but yep,
Yep.
perfect. Jay Huff is one of my flyer picks as well. Whether he starts or whether it be Isaiah Jackson or will it be a minute share remains to be seen. But I like Jay Huff's game. We saw glimpses when he was in Memphis as well. I had him in a 30 deep and I did drop him. And yes, it's terrible that I dropped him at the end of last season, but he was providing zero value. And I ended up winning
Yeah,
the championship. But now I look at it going, man, I wish I still had Jay Huff because he's going to have a nice season.
he might, but like I said, if Isaiah Jackson's healthy, I think he's the one that probably winds up starting. They gave him a 3-year contract. They're clearly invested in him. And we've seen him in the past. He's filled in. Matty G and I talked about him when he filled in for Miles Turner a couple of years ago. He showcased a ton of potential, and I'm kind of banking on that. I think the Pacers are banking on it too. So
Well, they showed confidence in him by giving him another 3-year contract. So that bodes well for his longer term value as well. I rounded out the draft with DeJounte Murray. I took a leaf from your book, a page out of your book, I should say, Steve. And
stash him.
I'll just stash him. And 154 for a guy that's coming off of a long-term injury. I think it's fine. And then I'll just go and grab someone else.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, just very quickly, something important I'd like to mention. Look, if you'd like to support the Believe in Fantasy Basketball channel, consider becoming an MVP community member. You'll receive and get access to priority DM and email responses, exclusive MVP Discord access with all of our experts, including myself, and for the first time ever, a private podcast that answers all of your questions weekly. So to join, visit believeinfantasy.com. Fantastic draft, great ensemble of fantasy experts. So hopefully everyone got some value out of that. Couple of picks that we probably wouldn't have done, one including one of mine as well that you don't like, Steve, but that's all right. That's all right. That's what mocks are all about.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's all a crapshoot, and again, you've got to take some risks. You've got to, kind of go against the grain sometimes, especially when, again, you're in competitive leagues or competitive drafts with other people who know what they're doing. Sometimes, you gotta go against it and just take some risks. And again, it all comes down to what kind of leagues you're in. You've got to know your settings. You've got to know your restrictions. You've got to know all the settings.
Yep. Also, know your ADP and understand that the platform that you're drafting in, you may have some ADP data from other platforms. So utilize that, build that into your draft preparation because you may get some value, particularly those that are drafting early. We don't recommend drafting early, but if your league decides we're going to draft a month before opening night, then there is some nice value to be had just based on ADPs and your platform as well. Thank you, Steve. Really appreciate it again. Hopefully we do more of these as we approach opening night, which is less than 2 months away. Make sure you check out the mock drafts playlist on the Believe in Fantasy channel on YouTube for all of our mock draft episodes. Thank you, Steve. And until next time, see you guys.